Welcome the rare gems. Have you ever felt like you see the world differently? Like the things everyone else loves don't really resonate with you? If so, you might just be a Sigma female. A Sigma female isn't interested in fitting into society's prepackaged molds or chasing trends that don't speak to her soul. Instead, she carves her own path, boldly and unapologetically. This video is for those women who felt out of place at crowded social events, questioned the obsession with superficial trends, or struggled to understand why everyone else seems to enjoy things you find dull or meaningless. It's not that you're trying to be difficult, you just have a deeper appreciation for authenticity, independence, and genuine connection. Being a Sigma female means valuing your time, protecting your energy, and prioritizing your own growth over what society expects from you. It's a gift, but it can feel isolating when the world seems to celebrate everything you quietly reject. This is your reminder. You're not alone, and your perspective is your strength. Join us as we dive into the things Sigma females hate but others love, and discover why embracing your unique outlook is your ultimate superpower. Watch now to learn more. Number 1. Office politics and gossip. Office politics and gossip are the playground of those who thrive on drama, manipulation, and shallow connections. For Sigma females, this environment is not just unappealing, it's downright toxic. They see through the power plays, fake alliances, and endless whispering that dominate office dynamics, and it all feels like an exhausting waste of energy. Sigma females operate on a completely different wavelength. They're not interested in climbing the corporate ladder by stepping on others or cozying up to the right people. Instead, they let their work speak for itself. Competence, authenticity, and results are their currency, not gossip or backdoor deals. They see office politics as a distraction from what really matters, doing meaningful work and staying true to their principles. Gossip, in particular, is something they can't stand. While others might bond over sharing secrets or tearing down coworkers behind their backs, Sigma females find this behavior immature and counterproductive. They don't have time for petty rivalries or baseless rumors. They'd rather focus on self-improvement and meaningful collaboration. What sets Sigma females apart is their ability to remain unshaken by the noise around them. They don't play games, they don't pick sides, and they don't fake friendships for personal gain. This often earns them respect, even if it also makes them a target for those who don't understand their approach. In a world where office politics often seem unavoidable, Sigma females prove that authenticity and competence can be just as powerful, if not more so, than manipulation. By refusing to engage in the pettiness, they rise above it, creating a professional reputation built on integrity and strength. For them, staying true to their values isn't just a choice, it's the only way to work. Number 2. Unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice is something Sigma females have very little patience for. To them, it feels intrusive, presumptuous, and often unnecessary. They don't appreciate people swooping in with suggestions, especially when those suggestions come from someone who lacks the expertise or understanding of their situation. Sigma females value their independence above all else, and unsolicited advice often comes across as an unwelcome challenge to their autonomy. The issue isn't that Sigma females are closed off to learning. They're the opposite. They're thoughtful, curious, and eager to expand their knowledge. But they approach advice on their own terms, seeking out information from credible sources or trusted individuals when they need it. They rely on their own instincts, research, and critical thinking to navigate life. For someone to offer guidance without being asked can feel condescending, as if they're assuming the Sigma female hasn't already considered her options. What really grates on them is the lack of self-awareness behind unsolicited advice. Often, the advice giver has little insight into the Sigma female's perspective, goals, or challenges. To a Sigma, it feels like someone imposing their worldview rather than offering genuine help. This fix-it mentality can be particularly frustrating because it dismisses the Sigma's capability to handle her own problems. For Sigma females, the best advice is the kind that's invited, thoughtful, and rooted in expertise or empathy. They prefer solutions that empower rather than patronize. And when it comes to their lives, They'd rather make their own mistakes than follow advice that doesn't align with their values. At the end of the day, Sigma females trust themselves to chart their own course, and they expect others to respect that. Number 3, overexposure on social media. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, Sigma females stand out for their desire to keep their lives private and low-key. While others are quick to post every meal, vacation snapshot, and intimate moment, Sigma females detest this need to publicize every detail. They value mystery and authenticity over the constant need for external validation that comes with social media overexposure. For Sigma females, the digital world often feels like an invasion of privacy. They're not interested in turning their personal experiences into a public spectacle. Sharing personal milestones, struggles, or fleeting moments for the sake of likes or comments feels shallow to them. They prefer to enjoy the moments in real life, without the pressure to capture and broadcast everything for an audience. This isn't about avoiding connection, it's about preserving the sacredness of their private lives. Sigma females understand the power of keeping certain things to themselves, knowing that what's shared too freely loses its value. They cherish the ability to create meaningful experiences without the need for others to constantly witness them. While others might thrive on the attention and feedback from their social media posts, Sigma females see these platforms for what they often are: a curated highlight reel designed to create an illusion of perfection. They don't feel the need to conform to this artificial standard. Instead, they stay grounded in their reality, valuing personal space and real-world connections over digital ones. For Sigma females, privacy isn't just about protection. It's about maintaining control over their own narrative. They know that keeping some parts of their life off the grid adds to their allure and preserves their true essence, untouched by the fleeting trends of online culture. Number 4, public displays of excessive emotion. For Sigma females, emotional expression is deeply personal and sacred. They believe in feeling emotions fully, but they also believe there's a time and place for everything, and that time is rarely in the middle of a public setting. Public displays of excessive emotion, whether it's over-the-top joy or dramatic sorrow, feel draining and unnecessary to them. To a Sigma female, these outbursts often seem less like genuine emotion and more like a performance meant to draw attention or make others uncomfortable. This doesn't mean Sigma females are cold or unfeeling. In fact, the opposite is true. They feel deeply but choose to process their emotions in a way that aligns with their inner sense of balance and dignity. They value self-control and introspection, preferring to handle their highs and lows in private or with trusted individuals who truly understand them. Watching others openly unravel or overly celebrate in public can feel overwhelming, even performative, to their grounded sensibilities. Sigma females thrive on authenticity and emotional depth, and public dramatics often come across as shallow or insincere to them. Instead of shouting their feelings from the rooftops, they cherish quiet moments of self-reflection. They know emotions are powerful and personal, not something to be put on display like a show for the world to see. This preference for composed emotional expression is part of their calm, mysterious charm. It reflects their inner strength and confidence. They don't need to broadcast their feelings to be understood. For Sigma females, the quieter the storm, the greater the power. And that's something most people will never understand. At number 5, the need to be liked. The need to be liked drives much of human behavior. People change their opinions, actions, and even their personalities just to fit in or gain approval. But Sigma females reject this mindset entirely. For them, prioritizing self-respect over external validation is not just a choice, it's a way of life. To a Sigma female, constantly seeking to be liked feels like a trap, a heavy burden that forces people to compromise their authenticity just to meet others' expectations. She doesn't measure her worth by how many people approve of her. Instead, she values her own principles, boundaries, and goals above superficial acceptance. Her focus isn't on winning people over, but on staying true to herself, even if it makes her misunderstood or unpopular at times. What sets Sigma females apart is their unshakable confidence in who they are. They understand that not everyone will like them, and that's okay. They don't see relationships as a numbers game, but as a matter of quality over quantity. Their inner circle is often small but deeply meaningful, filled with people who appreciate them for their true selves, rather than a curated version meant to please the masses. This independence from external validation can be intimidating to others. While most people crave social acceptance, Sigma females are perfectly comfortable walking alone if the crowd doesn't align with their values. Their ability to rise above this need makes them powerful, magnetic, and deeply self-assured. By refusing to chase approval, Sigma females free themselves from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing. They send a clear message to the world. Liking them is optional, but respecting them is non-negotiable. And that's what makes them truly unforgettable. Number 6. Overly organized group activities. Overly organized group activities are often presented as the ultimate way to bond and have fun, but for Sigma females, they feel anything but enjoyable. The rigid schedules, forced participation, and over-planned nature of these events can be downright exhausting. To a Sigma female, this kind of mandatory fun often feels artificial and draining, like a chore dressed up as a social gathering. Don't get it twisted. Sigma females don't hate all group activities. They value meaningful connections and shared experiences, but they can't stand when things are unnecessarily overstructured or drawn out. They loathe the idea of spending hours on an event where the spontaneity is squashed and everything feels like it's happening on autopilot. It's as if the soul of the experience gets lost in the rigid planning. For Sigmas, true enjoyment comes from freedom. Freedom to engage when it feels right, freedom to step away when they need to recharge, and freedom to let things unfold naturally. They thrive in settings where moments happen organically, without someone barking out an itinerary or stretching an event long past its natural end. What's more, Sigma females deeply value their time and energy. Overly organized group activities often demand both without offering much in return. They'd much rather invest those resources in pursuits that align with their personal goals, or in smaller, more intimate gatherings where authentic connections can thrive. If it's too forced, too long, or too perfect, you can count a Sigma female out. She knows that life's best moments are rarely the ones written on a schedule. They're the unplanned, real ones that don't need a script to feel meaningful. For her, less structure means more room for genuine joy. Number 7. Forced optimism in toxic situations. Forced optimism in toxic situations is one of the things Sigma females simply cannot tolerate. It's easy to slap a smile on a difficult situation and pretend everything is fine, but for Sigma females, this approach feels like a hollow form of denial. While many people insist on looking on the bright side, or offering empty words of encouragement in the face of real struggles, Sigma females understand that sometimes the harshest realities need to be confronted head-on, not glossed over with forced positivity. Sigma females have an innate ability to see things as they are, not as they wish them to be. They don't sugarcoat the truth or pretend that everything is okay when it clearly isn't. Instead of plastering on a smile or encouraging others to stay positive in toxic environments, they take a more grounded approach, acknowledging the problem, feeling the weight of it, and then taking action to address it. They know that pretending everything is fine only prolongs the problem and stops real solutions from emerging. This mindset doesn't make Sigma females pessimistic. Far from it. It makes them realistic and proactive. They know that genuine change comes from recognizing issues, not from hiding behind empty words of reassurance. For them, optimism should be built on truth, not avoidance. Sigma females understand that some situations are tough, and acknowledging that is the first step toward making things better. They aren't afraid to take the necessary steps to address a toxic situation, whether it's making difficult decisions, having uncomfortable conversations, or walking away if necessary. Theirs is a brand of optimism rooted in strength, resilience, and the belief that true progress can only come when you face challenges directly, not with a mask of forced cheerfulness. At number 8, blind loyalty. Blind loyalty is something Sigma females cannot stand. In a world that often praises unwavering allegiance to people, companies, or ideologies, they reject the notion that loyalty should be given without question. For them, loyalty is not an automatic trait. It's something that must be earned and constantly evaluated. Sigma females understand the value of loyalty when it's based on mutual respect, trust, and shared values. They know that true loyalty isn't about sticking with something or someone just for the sake of it. It's about recognizing when a relationship, whether personal or professional, deserves your commitment. They don't believe in giving loyalty away freely, especially when it's not reciprocated or when it doesn't align with their principles. This mindset extends to every aspect of their life. Whether it's standing by a friend, supporting a company, or backing a cause, Sigma females demand authenticity and merit. They won't blindly follow anyone or anything just because it's expected or because it's the right thing to do. They carefully assess the worth of their connections, weighing whether those bonds align with their values and whether they continue to serve their growth and integrity. For Sigma females, loyalty without reason feels like a trap, an obligation that can limit personal freedom and growth. They value autonomy and critical thinking, and they know that true loyalty requires an ongoing, conscious decision to stay committed. This is why their loyalty, when given, is deep and unshakable. It's not something they throw around lightly. By rejecting blind loyalty, Sigma females preserve their authenticity and ensure that the bonds they form are meaningful, intentional, and worthy of their time and energy. It's a stance that demands integrity, not just allegiance for allegiance's sake. Number 9. Being told what to do. Being told what to do is one of the quickest ways to frustrate a Sigma female. Whether it's micromanagement at work, unsolicited advice in her personal life, or the constant pressure to conform to society's standards, Sigma females reject any attempt to impose someone else's rules on their lives. They don't just dislike being told what to think, how to live, or what to wear, they fundamentally refuse it. The idea of living by someone else's definition of success or following a set of arbitrary rules just doesn't sit well with them. Sigma females thrive on independence and autonomy. They believe that true success comes from charting your own course, trusting your instincts, and making decisions that align with your unique values. The idea of conforming to a prescribed path or bending to another person's idea of what's right feels stifling and limiting. They know that they are the architects of their own lives, not someone else's puppet. This defiance of authority doesn't stem from a place of rebellion for rebellion's sake. It's about preserving their sense of self and integrity. Sigma females don't need external validation or approval to feel validated. They're perfectly capable of defining their own path and living it with confidence. Whether it's in their careers, relationships, or personal choices, Sigma females reject being controlled by anyone else's rules. In a world that constantly pushes people to conform, Sigma females are unapologetically themselves, carving out a life that reflects their true desires. For them, the freedom to make their own choices isn't negotiable, it's essential, and that's what makes them so compelling. They answer to no one but themselves. At number 10, romanticizing busyness. In today's world, busyness has become a status symbol. People love to brag about how packed their schedules are, equating endless hustle with success. But Sigma females see right through this. To them, romanticizing busyness is nothing more than glorifying poor time management. They don't buy into the idea that being constantly on the grind is something to admire. In fact, they hate it. For Sigma females, productivity isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. They prioritize what truly matters and know that running yourself into the ground isn't a sign of strength, it's a sign of misplaced priorities. While others might wear their exhaustion like a badge of honor, Sigmas value balance, clarity, and purposeful action over chaotic schedules and non-stop multitasking. The constant grind culture feels hollow to them because it often prioritizes appearances over actual results. People get so caught up in doing more that they lose sight of whether what they're doing even matters. Sigma females reject this mindset. They believe in working smarter, not harder, and in carving out time for what's truly meaningful, whether that's personal growth, creativity, or simply recharging in solitude. This perspective often sets them apart. While others chase the illusion of productivity through endless tasks and meetings, Sigmas focus on quality over quantity. They're not impressed by how much you're doing. They're interested in what you're accomplishing. In a world obsessed with busyness, Sigma females remind us that true success lies in purposeful, well-managed priorities, not in how much you can cram into your day. Their approach challenges us to rethink what we value and to prioritize depth over the shallow glorification of being too busy. Number 11. Trend following. Trend following is like a siren song for most people, enticing, easy, and socially rewarding. It's a fast track to fitting in, blending into the crowd, and feeling in the know. But for Sigma females, trends hold no allure. They see past the flashy advertising, viral social media posts, and the fear of missing out. Why? Because trends, at their core, often demand conformity, and nothing is more suffocating to a Sigma female than losing her individuality. Sigma females don't chase trends because they know trends are fleeting. Today's must-have item or lifestyle craze is tomorrow's forgotten fad. Instead of blindly following the crowd, they prioritize what feels right for them. They value timelessness, functionality, and authenticity over short-lived popularity. While others are scrambling to buy the latest gadget or follow the newest fashion craze, Sigma females are investing in things that truly matter, whether it's cultivating a personal style that reflects their inner self or adopting practices that align with their unique values. This isn't to say Sigma females are oblivious to trends. They're often keen observers of what's happening in the world, but their approach is entirely different. They sift through the noise, take what resonates, if anything, and leave the rest. It's not about rebellion. It's about self-respect. For Sigma females, trends feel like a trap, a way for society to dictate who you should be. And that's not how they live. They know their worth isn't defined by what's trending, but by staying true to who they are. This ability to resist the pull of conformity is part of what makes them so compelling and magnetic. After all, why follow a trend when you can set your own path? At the end of the day, Sigma females are about one thing: living life on their own terms. The things they hate that others love aren't just annoyances. They're a reflection of their deep commitment to authenticity, independence, and self-respect. They reject the societal pressures to conform, constantly chase validation, or get swept up in the noise of trends. Instead, they choose to prioritize what truly matters: meaningful connections, real experiences, and their own sense of purpose. If you identify with the Sigma mindset, remember this: it's not about hating things for the sake of being different. It's about knowing your worth and not letting the world dictate how you should live, think, or feel. You don't need to play by anyone's rules to feel complete. Your strength lies in your ability to walk your own path, unaffected by the things that distract others. Embrace that power. Don't apologize for your distaste for the shallow, the fake, or the forced. Trust that you have a unique way of seeing the world, one that values substance over spectacle. Stay true to your principles, keep refining your authenticity, and keep creating a life that feels right to you, not what's expected of you. Sigma females aren't defined by the things they hate. They're defined by the strength and clarity it takes to choose something better. And in that quiet confidence, they find true freedom. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video. Bye for now, and God bless.